Good morning, afternoon everyone. Today, I want to talk about a recent, crucial warning from one of the most respected voices in cybersecurity, Brian Krebs. His article, provocatively titled, "Please Don't Feed the Scattered Lapsus ShinyHunters," paints a very clear picture of a persistent and evolving threat that we all need to be aware of. And while the article date of February 2026 might seem a little futuristic, let me assure you, the threats and the warnings Krebs discusses are very much present, active, and immediate right now. So, what exactly is Krebs talking about here? For those unfamiliar, Lapsus was a notorious hacking group that burst onto the scene in 2021-2022. They were distinct for a few reasons. Their members were often remarkably young, some even teenagers, and their methods were incredibly audacious. Instead of relying solely on sophisticated zero-day exploits, they perfected the art of social engineering, SIM swapping, and even bribing insiders to gain access to some of the world's largest companies. We're talking about high-profile victims like Nvidia, Samsung, Microsoft, Okta, and T-Mobile. Their motivation was a potent mix of financial gain and, crucially, a desire for notoriety and bragging rights. They thrived on chaos and attention. Now, fast forward to today. While some members of Lapsus have faced arrests and legal action, Krebs' article highlights a critical, often overlooked point. The threat hasn't vanished. It's merely scattered. Think of it like a hydra. You cut off one head, and others emerge. Perhaps a little different, but still dangerous. Many former Lapsus affiliates, or individuals heavily inspired by their tactics, are now operating under new banners. The article specifically calls out Shiny Hunters and even mentions groups like Lapsus Group 2. These aren't necessarily centralized organizations. They can be loose confederations, individuals, or small, agile cells, but their tactics remain chillingly effective. These Shiny Hunters haven't forgotten the playbooks that made Lapsus so successful. They are still heavily engaged in 1. Sophisticated social engineering. They'll target your employees with highly convincing phishing attacks, pretexting calls, or even direct messages, trying to trick them into divulging credentials, installing malicious software, or taking actions that compromise security. 2. SIM swapping. This continues to be a major weapon. They'll convince mobile carriers to port an employee's phone number to a device they control. Why? Because that phone number is often tied to multi-factor authentication, allowing them to bypass crucial security layers. 3. Insider threats. They are still actively seeking out and exploiting disgruntled employees, or even bribing individuals, to gain internal access and intelligence. 4. Exploiting human weakness. They look for lax security practices, employees sharing passwords, weak corporate network configurations, or simply individuals who aren't trained to spot their highly persuasive trickery. 5. Rapid data exfiltration and extortion. Once they gain a foothold, they move quickly. Their goal is to steal as much sensitive data as possible: customer records, source code, internal documents, and then use that data for extortion, demanding large sums of money to prevent its public release. This brings us to the core of Krebs' warning. Please don't feed the scattered Lapsus Shiny Hunters. Why is this so important? Because these groups thrive on two things: money and attention. Paying a ransom or engaging with them directly only validates their methods. It signals that their tactics work, encouraging them to continue, and it funds their future operations. There's also absolutely no guarantee that they will actually delete the data or cease their harassment once paid. Giving them undue attention, even negative attention, can also fuel their ego and provide them with the notoriety they crave. They want to be known. They want to see their names in headlines. So, what's the proactive stance? What can we, as individuals and organizations, do? Krebs' article implicitly underscores the need for a robust, multi-layered defense strategy. 1. Intensive employee training. This is paramount. Regularly educate your employees about phishing, social engineering tactics, the dangers of SIM swapping, and how to report suspicious activity immediately. Foster a culture of skepticism and vigilance. 2. Strong multi-factor authentication. Implement MFA everywhere possible, especially for critical systems and whenever feasible. Move beyond SMS based MFA to more secure options like hardware tokens or authenticator apps, as SMS is vulnerable to SIM swapping. 3. Principle of least privilege. Ensure employees only have access to the data and systems absolutely necessary for their job functions. 4. Robust incident response plan. Have a clear, practiced plan in place for when, not if, a security incident occurs. Knowing who does what, how to contain a breach, and how to communicate about it can significantly minimize damage. 5. Monitor for anomalies. Implement systems that can detect unusual login attempts, abnormal data access, or strange network activity. Early detection is key. 6. Secure your supply chain. Remember that these attackers often look for the weakest link. Ensure your third-party vendors and partners also have strong security practices. In closing, Brian Krebs' warning about the scattered Lapsus ShinyHunters isn't just a headline. It's a vital reminder that the threat landscape is constantly evolving. These groups are adaptable, persistent, and their motivation is both financial gain and ego. The best defense is a proactive, multi-layered approach that includes strong technology, vigilant employees, and a firm commitment to not feeding the beast. Thank you.